Hello everybody and welcome back to our Games and Tech. My name is Gilbert Matos and today I'm gonna talk about my all-in-one jump through platforms. It was a video I made about the three types of platforms: horizontal, vertical, and static platforms. So the problem I heard from most of you guys was that the vertically moving platforms had this issue where if the player jumped or fell into a platform, he would just go right through them, which was not very good. So I solved the problem, but I thought that I actually made a video when I actually didn't do that. And I could not even realize that up until now. So I went ahead, got into the project, and realized what the problem was. So the issue looks like this, and I'll play this video so you guys can actually see it. So basically, have the player, if he jumps, you see how he fell right through the platform? That's not supposed to happen. But I figured out why that is happening and how to fix it. So let's go back to this. So I think, let me see, right about here. Where is it? The player falls through it. Let me see. This only happens when the player and when the platform is going up and the player does a really small jump. So as you see, it's not happening there. But it happens at the very beginning, right around here. So you see the player jump, right there. So if we go back slowly, right, if we replay that back, we're gonna see a couple things. Now, one of the things that I saw in the comments was that it only happens when the player's vertical speed is 1, and I was like, that makes no sense, because there's nothing else suggesting why that happens when the player speed via vertical speed is 1. So I recorded this and brought it into DaVinci Resolve so that I can actually fast forward this slowly. And as you can see, the player jumped and the vertical speed is negative. And it gets to 0.27. And this always happens when there's this vertical speed happening at the same time that the platform and the player collide. So right here, if you go forward 1 frame, you can, let's just zoom in so you guys can better see this. If you go forward 1 frame, the player gets pushed up. So we're gonna go back. You see the difference? Frame back, forward, another 1 forward, and for 2 frames the player gets pushed up. However, the vertical speed is still 0.27, which is not good. It's supposed to be 0 at this point. So it isn't up until the 3rd frame of being pushed up that the player actually goes right through the platform, and that is not a very good thing, right? And you might be wondering, but why do you say that it's specifically 0.27? Well, I kept on recording and I tested this. I was like, okay, so let me see if that's exactly when that happens. You saw that right there? So it happened again. So we're gonna zoom in again and we're gonna go in and we're gonna take a look. Again, it's the same scenario, 0.27, and you can look at the timeline, that is a different time. And 1 frame forward, pushed up. Look at that. Collision, 1 frame forward, pushed up. And then now it's different, but it's the same case scenario. So before, it would go up for 2 frames, and on the 3rd frame, it would drop. And now it is going up for 1 frame, and on the 2nd frame, it is dropping right through the platform. But again, it's the same thing, so we have consistency here. So it's 0.27. Now, what does this mean? Well, you gotta understand that we're not adding whole numbers into the X and Y axis of our player. So we have what we call subpixel movement. Now, you have to also understand that there's no such thing as half a pixel or a third of a pixel. It's just 1 pixel or more than 1 pixel. So you either have 1 pixel, 2 pixels, 3 pixels, and that is it. Just whole integers. There's no fractions. There's no 1.2 of a pixel. That doesn't exist. Now, since we have subpixel movement, right? Before we go into the fix, I'm going to show this happening again with yet another platform. It should happen here if I'm not mistaken. Oh, right there. So we can go back Oh, there you go. This should be it. Okay, so right about this point here. Boom. Now we're gonna go back all the way back, and we're gonna take a look at the numbers. And again, yet again, we see the same thing. Collision happens at 0.27 in the vertical speed, right? And we get pushed up once, and the second time it doesn't happen, and we go right through it, and we start falling right through it. And this is not good. So I'm gonna teach you how to fix this. Now, you have two options on fixing this. So I opened the project and I had renamed it to into new try, right? And I cleaned up the room a little bit so that we can better see things. Now we're gonna run the game and we're gonna take a look at what's happening again and see what's up. We're gonna jump into it and we fell right through it again because again, it's a very small jump, and when the platform is trying to catch up, we catch up at a non-integer value, right? And then we just keep on falling through it. And this is very consistent, and it is the wrong type of consistency that we don't want in our games. So we're gonna close this and we're gonna go into the player object. And right here in the end step event, so you can do it in the end step event, and you can also do it right in this one place. So you can do it right here. So I'm just gonna uncomment this because I already did this. So all you have to do is just round the Y of your character, right? And this is gonna make sure that your character is always going to be moving right vertically after things are being applied, right? So after you move it, like you move it here in your collisions, right, and here, we're going to make sure that when we move right in our y-axis, it is rounded. So it is actually whole numbers. So if we go ahead and run the game again, this should be fixed completely. So we're gonna go ahead, try to jump again, and now the issue is gone completely. Look at that. I'm trying to jump on it, do like small hops, and it no longer happens. So this was the issue that everybody was having a long time ago, and I was not having this issue. I cannot remember why it was not an issue for me. I was not having this issue on my main game, the game that I'm working on right now. But it's because I did something else, and that was one of the other suggestions I made a while ago. But it was for another video, and since this video was actually the definitive edition regarding platforms, then I forgot to address that, and I think I left a comment. But let me show you what the fix was. So I told you there's more than one solution to this. This is one. Now the other two solutions, one I do not recommend, and the other one I do recommend. Let me show you the one I do not recommend, and it is right here. Let's see. Okay, so you can basically say v speed equals seal v speed, and this should solve the problem as well. Now the problem with this is that we're only going to be moving in whole numbers, and that's not very good. Why it's not very good? Because now gravity doesn't matter. We're gonna always jump and stay at the same height, and if you change your gravity, it's not gonna be affected, and you're always gonna be jumping and falling at the same rate. And even though it fixes one problem, it introduces another one. So this is not the fix that I would suggest. There are other ways to work around this, adjusting a bunch of other things, but that's not ideal. And now we're gonna go into the jump through collisions. This is the fix that I suggested regarding the other video. So right here, when you say y minus other that v speed, all you have to do is just say seal, and then you run the game, and that's it. It should be fixed. Look at that. We can jump, no problem. Very, very, very close to the platform as the platform is going up, and nothing else happens. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This was an issue that as I said before, thought I actually fixed, but that was not the case. So I am pretty sorry about that. And now everybody can definitely enjoy the tutorial that they spent so much time watching. as it was intended. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm very sorry about that. And yeah, here you have your fix. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.